80 or something, or 100. Pratik can tell you later. And we just started our day a little late, 10 a.m. It's really nice out. It's very humid, warm. I'd say 85. It'll probably be 90, 95 later. And we had a wonderful night last night. We stayed in the backyard of Anna and Matt's house. Anna, Matt, and their parents. Matt's 4. Anna is his older sister. I forget her age. And the two of them and their parents were incredible hosts. So sweet. Pratik and I found a Methodist church, and it was getting late, and we were looking for a place to stay. So we walked around the church, trying to see if there was a residence to ask if we could pitch a tent. And their backyard abuts the church. And Walter and his father-in-law, Walter's Anna and Matt's dad, were hanging out in the back porch, and they invited us to stay in their backyard, which is really generous of them, because we were getting a little worried. It was getting late, and we didn't want to bike when it was dark. And once it gets dark, it's much more difficult to find a place, obviously, because it's a little sketchy if you got two guys knock on your door at 9 o'clock asking to camp out in your backyard. But that's exactly what we did, but it's 7 o'clock instead. And it worked out perfectly. Pratik hung out with them, had a beer. I biked to the grocery store, and we had a gourmet meal consisting of 3 different kinds of vegetables, lentils, and a little horseradish cheese, some bread. Oh, and chicken sausage, fat and protein. We ate the other half for breakfast. A little less gourmet, but energy nonetheless. And so we're full of good, delicious food. And we just stopped at Stewart's, which is the local franchise gas station. We give a shout out to Stewart's and their unlocked bathroom. Very luxurious, relatively speaking. Yeah, so today we have a wonderful tailwind. I can see the plants blowing in our direction, which makes a huge difference, because with a trailer, I'm very much like a sailboat. So if you're biking into a headwind, that's going to slow you down quite a bit. So with the tailwind and light rolling hills, we should be able to do about 80 today, which will put us in Richfield Springs, maybe? I got my map under the camera. Pratik's behind me. Good thing to be tight. But yeah, yesterday was all good riding, very rural, through Massachusetts, through a Shaker village, way up a mountain, down a mountain, crossed into New York, went through another Shaker village, town, and then before we knew it, we were in Albany, which is totally out of scale. I had no idea it was so massive. There are a few buildings, large skyscrapers, that have a pretty small footprint, but they're very tall and slender. And I think it's all a scale thing, so you can see them in the distance. We were on our Route 20, which was pretty mild up until Albany. And I looked left, and I saw it crawling over the river on a really steep bridge. But the bridge is built like a freeway, so I got a little worried. But by the time I got worried, we were already committed to it, because there's traffic behind us and no shoulder, so we're biking up the bridge. And then halfway over, some more lanes merged in, and it became a 4 or 5 lane freeway without a shoulder. And there's a bike lane to our right, but a really, really high guardrail. And our gear weighs about 50 pounds each, so we couldn't just hop over. So there was a brief moment of panic because we had no idea the freeway was just going to continue. We stopped on the side of the road as close to the guardrail as possible, and a really kind biker passed by us and helped us lift our trailers over the guardrail. And then we got a bike down the bike bridge, which is a big relief. But yeah, you gotta be careful, because these little rural roads become freeways when you move into the cities. So, that's all I got now. Talk to you later.